What's up, guys? I'm SaltEMike, and this is your Star Citizen Week in Review for February 24th, 2025. Patch 4.0.2 is coming along, and some important bugs have been fixed. The roadmap update is coming back, but will it have any purpose? And one of the biggest performance updates we've all been looking for is a ways off. All that and more on today's Week in Review. And as always, if this is your first Week in Review, this is where I take all of the official Star Citizen news each week, put it into one video, and share some of my opinions about it. I also live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/SaltEMike. Stop by and say hi if you haven't yet. But before we get into what went on this week, let me share with you today's sponsor. This video is brought to you by Manscaped.com, the global men's lifestyle brand and industry leader in electronic shaving tools. Manscaped is trusted by over 12 million men worldwide, and it's time to talk about stepping up your grooming game without stepping all over your wallet. Enter Manscaped's The Chairman Plus electric foil shaver, the more affordable but just as awesome little brother to the Chairman Pro. Let's break it down. It features 2 interchangeable blade heads. First up, we got the 3-blade foil shaver, 2 foil blades, and a long hair leveler T-blade. It is designed to handle up to 3 days of growth. For finishing touches, the precision trimmer attachment blade head is perfect for lining up that facial hair and crafting your personalized style. When you equip the attachment, the trimmer head locks in place with the precision lock, making it very stable for precision trimming. No more accidental buzz cuts mid-shave. So whether you're cleaning up for date night or just trying to look sharp for that Zoom call, the Chairman Plus electric foil shaver is your go-to. Looking and feeling your best has never been easier. With all its advanced features, Manscaped's trusted quality, what more could you want? Use promo code SaltEMike for 20% off your entire order, plus free shipping. Once again, that is 20% off your entire order, plus free international shipping with promo code SaltEMike at manscaped.com. And thank you again for sticking through the sponsor spots. They really help keep the channel going. But speaking of getting going, let's dive into those patch notes. And we'll start out on Monday with a 4.0.2 PTU, and the testing focuses the main thing of note, and it's at the bottom. They're still trying to fix transit issues, which is the point of this patch in the first place, as well as some cleanup issues where it was being too aggressive on our ships. And for bugs, I didn't see much of note here. Again, the main bugs plaguing the game are around transit and the hangars and elevators, but there are literally thousands of bugs that need to be fixed, right? So if your bug isn't listed today, someone's might be, right? Tuesday, another 4.0.2 PTU, and for features, they wanted to fix camera shake. Of course they do, because they probably have metrics that say literally every single person who's ever played Star Citizen turns off all the shake because it's so bad. For bug fixes, they potentially nailed a few really big ones that some were needed for the event that's coming up as well. Quantum stopping when you cross a server line is an annoying one to deal with, so hopefully they got that one. I haven't seen it, so let me know if you guys are still having it. I had a ton of issues where some of my ship weapons just wouldn't fire, so I hope they nailed that one down as well. And the Reclaimer was broken where it would spit out only 1 SCU containers, which is obviously not good for the event for Reclaimer owners, since you will need construction materials, RMC, and stuff like that. So being able to get it up to the 16 SCU that they can do is pretty nice. Then Thursday, we had a 4.0.2 PTU. I have to start out with the feature change. I think it has no meaning at all to a player because, yeah, I don't really get it. It seems like some internal change for the devs. Let me know if I'm missing something here. For bugs, they're still trying to get this QT U-turn issue down. If you've ever experienced it, you know what we're talking about. I can confirm they did fix one issue, though, around mining. When a rock exploded, it basically was like an A2 bomb explosion instead of a normal one. This is another one that needed to be nailed down before supply or die. They also added the new Ripper SMG ammo to the shops properly. And then for Friday, we had a 4.0.2 PTU again. This might be exciting for some players. The Zeus CL and ES are on the shops. Now, the MISC Starlancer was also supposed to be added to the shops. What's funny about that is I went to both locations where you should find the Starlancer, as they said in the notes, and it wasn't in the game yet. I'm sure they'll fix it, but another example of nobody checking anything before they release the patch notes. It's just small things like this, I feel like, shouldn't be a problem if they're trying to get better at stuff, right? So just pointing that out, it is what it doesn't matter if somebody can't buy a ship in the PTU, but yeah. So they also updated the loading screens, and I think this is the biggest part of all the patches from the week, is the loading screen. And well, guess what? We're still spending 10 minutes on it, so there's that. But basically, if they're not willing or able, because we don't exactly know what's going on here, to get voice acting in for their live events or cutscenes or anything fancy, right? They give a full breakdown of what's going on in the game right now on the loading screen, causing prices to soar with Deditrine, why that's happening, right? And even a timeline for 4.0.2. It says something about March 2955 on that loading screen there. So it's kind of giving some stuff away, right? For bugs, I think they fixed an issue with us seeing like 200 medical beacons. And then there is a mining fix, which, in case you aren't aware, I-type rocks, again, another thing that's really important for the event, didn't show their label. So it's just, fixing that is really all there is. And that's what we had this week. So the biggest thing is a loading screen. It's a pretty rough week, I would say. So how are you guys feeling about everything? Tell you what, I didn't really jump in the game very much this week. Probably the least amount of time I have spent in games since CitizenCon or before it. So yeah, let me know how you guys are feeling. It's not feeling so great on my end. Just wondering if the whole choices of what they're making are the right choices to keep us engaged with the game. I actually don't mind not being engaged with the game. I think it's okay. Obviously, as a content creator, I'm posting these videos and stuff like that. When less things happen, it's not that fun. But for the betterment of the game, we are seeing these incremental bug fixes happen, maybe not as quickly as we would like. But with that, let's move into other updates, because there was no videos, there were no roadmaps, there was no motherboards. So yeah, let's move on. All right, and as always, we'll start out with a sneak peek. This one is extremely similar to the sneak peek we already had 3 weeks ago. It is a supplier die event location. They just zoomed in on it a bit, it looks like, and that's understandable for the situation that we're in. You can't really sneak peek transit fixes, can you? It's quite literally the only content that we'll be getting in the next patch, so it's, yeah, that's the sneak, right? Then for dev posts, the first one's about roadmap updates. 2 posts from Nico here letting us know that the roadmap will be updated next week, which of course we will cover here, so get subscribed if you haven't yet. But this is a curious one. They're not tying features to patches anymore. So I don't know about you, but that's the part of the roadmap that I looked for. So what's coming in 4.1. I'm excited. What am I excited about? And then when I get into testing, I hyper focus on that thing that I'm excited about. I give feedback on it, and now that is kind of dead, right? I wouldn't expect this roadmap to do anything impactful on at least the feature side, right? And then the progress tracker, well, this actually might. And again, the issue with that is like a line ending on the tracker or a line starting on the tracker doesn't really mean anything and never did. So let me know your thoughts on this one. Are you excited at all for a roadmap update? And if you are, or if you aren't, why? Is there anything to be exciting? Am I missing anything here? Probably not, but yeah, it's an interesting one, because that was something that we all used to look forward to at times, because it would be like, all right, well, 4.0 came out. They're going to tell us what's in 4.1. We don't really have that anymore. FPS weapons is the next one. So we got our weekly FPS weapon discussion from Zach. And I have to continue to say this. I cherish devs like him. Consistent with sharing his thoughts and feelings around his work, no matter what anyone thinks about it or says about it. I just think it is great to know where we're going and have that to look forward to. I mean, just coming from this roadmap discussion, he's literally doing it. Right? He's literally telling you what their plans are in the future. Maybe not a timeline, but what their plans are, and you can watch the FPS experience grow. Now, with that, what has been shared here has been shared before. There was a discussion around bipods a few times, I think, on the forums for weapons like snipers and LMGs, but they are looking for a simple solution, which is just using prone to simulate that. But they need updates first. And he lists those updates, the main one being recoil modifiers based on your stance. He also went into LMG's power and how he wants to address that with things, so upping their damage a little bit more, which honestly, I kind of followed what he said in this and then went into Arena Commander with just the LMG and struggled insanely. It probably does need a little bit more of a damage update, but it also needs the trade-offs that he wants to put in there. I used it with Hipfire, and it was tough in comparison to the metaguns. And then Vulkan. So Ali Brown posted about 15 times on Spectrum this week. Same thing, Ali. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for caring. Thank you for keeping us updated. And thank you for responding to the community. I know some people got nasty in the thread as well. But it was about the subject, and I will try to... the subject on Vulkan, right? And I'll try to give you a TLDR on it because a lot was said. The Vulkan updates, we need to see the true potential of what our computers can do is what my understanding of what Vulkan is going to bring. But we're not going to see that just yet because of CIG's focus on stability. If they introduce it, it will create instability, the exact thing they're not trying to do. And if they break out parts of it and introduce it slowly, it will cause extra work, and it may cause stability issues potentially as well. They are considering a tech preview, but that will also take time and effort and dev time that could be used to make this a fully featured thing working nicely. There were mentions multiple times or about multi-threading, I should say. And, this is basically the thing that everyone is waiting for. Let me know if I'm wrong on that one, but the multi-threading update is what has always been touted, that thing that we will see performance improvements from if you're CPU bottlenecked or whatever, right? And I think the main thread is almost always bottlenecked. Then he goes on to share what is in this update whenever we get it. A lot of ray tracing stuff, Planet Tech V5, and that's the kicker for me. We don't get the changes to mining that I am wanting so bad, and I am not patient on waiting for these, but I'm gonna have to. And basically what is supposed to happen with mining is this Planet Tech happens, the biomes will determine what harvestables are there, right? And that kind of thing. And then character decals. This is something cool that I never heard of outside of the sweat and blood and stuff that we saw at CitizenCon a little while ago. This will include damage due to weapons, like scarring and bullet wounds potentially, things like that. And of course, video memory overhauls that will help with GPU loads, which I think a lot of people are starting to see now with their GPUs. And guys, that'll do it. That's all we had this week. I know it's a short one, but next week should be a little bit better. I think there's an ISC. There might be an SCL. We'll have to see. And then, we also get that roadmap update. So we'll have to see what that's all about. But once again, I got to pose that question. How are you guys feeling about these initiatives, right? It does feel rough this week. I want you to remember how you feel this week versus how we feel going forward over, maybe this weekend or, maybe a little bit after, probably the following week. If the event goes live and you enjoy the event, how are they doing? How is this working out for you? Is Star Citizen a game that you're going to be playing weekly, daily, nightly, those kind of things? So, I'm kind of interested on your thoughts there. So leave a comment down below, subscribe, and like the video if you guys enjoyed it. And I'll catch you next week, hopefully for a little bit longer. That would be great.